I'm going to the track next week on my new 2022 BMW S1000RR. And in this video, I'm going to go over what I'm bringing, how I'm getting there, what to expect on a typical track day, footage of me riding on the track, and lessons learned afterwards. So if you have a track day coming up, or maybe you're going to the track for the very first time, hopefully this video will help you out. So if it's your first track day, I highly recommend going with someone that already has experience at the track. They can help you prepare your bike, and they can help you get your bike to the track, and you kind of just join their setup. They already have a tent, they already have chairs, they already have a table, they already know the track, they know how to prepare your bike, they can do a bunch of lead follow and give you feedback. So they already have like the camp set up, and you're kind of just joining their camp. That's the best way to do it for your first track day. And keep in mind, you don't ride your bike to the track, right? You get it trailered to the track for a couple reasons. If you crash at the track, now you're stuck. And after riding around the track all day long, you're probably gonna be really tired. It's gonna be a super high risk to drive back home unless you literally live a couple minutes away from the track, which I don't know anybody who does. For example, the track that I'm going to is Chuckwalla Valley Raceway, and it's about 4.5, 5 hours away from where I live. And let's say I only live 5 minutes away from the track, I'm still not gonna ride my bike there because once I'm riding, I'm in leathers, I'm riding the track. Once I get off the track, I have no shade, I have no tent, I have no water, I have no food, no tools, nothing. So you don't ride your bike there. So all that being said, I'm gonna go over what I bring to the track. And I like to bring a bunch of stuff that I may not be using, but maybe other people can use, because I like to be self-sufficient. I don't like to rely on anybody else to have something or to bring something for me. I like to have everything myself. That's just the way I am. And everything I'm about to go over, this is from years and years and hundreds of track days, figuring out what I need, what I forgot, what I don't need to bring with me, what I don't need to lug around, what I should have brought the next time. So this is a whole list of all that different experience. And everything I'm about to say of what I bring to the track, I'll pin it to the top comment of this video. So first, bring your bike, obviously. Next is your key. And bringing your key is something that I specifically write down and check for, because there was one time, only takes one to make this mistake. There was one time I got all the way to the track and I forgot my key here in San Diego, and I'm 5 hours away. Didn't do a track day that day. I hung out since I was already there. I just watched other people and helped them out and took pictures and just hung out, but I didn't ride. I didn't have the key to the bike. So make sure you bring your damn key. So next is obviously my gear. So what is the bare minimum stuff to go on the track? You need the bike, you need the key, and you need your gear. That's the bare minimum stuff. So that's the first thing I put on the list. So bike, key, leather suit, gloves, boots, my helmet, socks, earplugs, the compression shirt and pants, what I wear underneath my leather suit. That's all the minimum stuff I need to wear at the track. So that's the very first. The next, since you're driving to the track, and what I'm doing, so the track day is on Monday, but I'm driving there and packing everything up Sunday, and I'm going to the track. And at Chuckwalla, they have these cool cabins you could rent right outside the track. It's like just a little cabin you can rent to stay there. So then when Monday morning comes around, you just wake up and just drive onto the track, get your parking spot, and then you start the track day. So it's pretty nice. So bring a set of normal clothes, extra clothes, shoes, flip-flops, sunblock. It's gonna be about 90 degrees at the track when we go on Monday, so it's gonna be nice and warm. Then all these other things that I'm about to list are just things I accumulated and thought to bring and wanted to bring and forgot I needed and everything else. So my camera, my Insta360 Ace Pro 1, extra batteries for the camera, external battery pack, the chargers for all these different things, a power strip where I have a whole bunch of different plugs, my phone charger, and then sunglasses, a hat, because a normal track day, you're 20 minutes riding on the track and then you have a 40-minute break. And usually it's broken down by groups, C, B, A, ABC group. So A group is like the fast people that have a whole lot of experience on the track and they're actually riding fast. B group is for riders that may be newer to the track and they're okay with their times. And then C group, you're new to the track or you're just a new rider completely. But just because you think you're awesome, if it's your first track day, you don't go in A group or even B group. You always start in C group. And then if you're doing good, the track day people will notice you, or you could ask them to follow you to see how you're doing and let them always bump you up to the next level. You don't just self-identify as A group, because then you're a risk to other people that are actually riding way faster than you. So you don't do that. Always let the track people bump you up to groups. But if it's your first track day, you start in C group no matter what. I don't care what bike you have. I don't care how much miles experience you have. If you're new to the track, you start in C group. So sunglasses, my hat, tire pressure gauge, tire pump, fuel jugs ×2, right? So they have fuel, sometimes at the track, but it's like super expensive. So I have 2 5-gallon fuel jugs that I fill up with premium. I bring that. Then I have my big old 10x10 pop-up tent for shade. And then I have the weights for the pop-up tent in case it gets windy. Then I have 2 really big lounge chairs I can just lay out and elevate my feet where it's really comfortable. And then I have 2 tables. This is where you rest your helmet on. You have tool chest, you have your phone chargers, your food. So I have 2 tables. One is pretty big, probably 6 feet by 4 feet. And the other one's by 4 feet by 4 feet, something like that. Then I have a change of clothes, baby wipes, hygiene gear, towel, flip-flops, because you'll be at the cabin taking a shower. After the track day, you'll be all sweaty, so you'll probably want to take a shower right there on the track. They have bathrooms and showers before you pack everything up and drive home for 4 hours. You don't want to be all sweaty and gross in your car for 4 hours driving back home. So I usually shower before I leave. And then of course, food and water. I have a cooler. Then I have a toolbox, a specific track day toolbox with a whole bunch of different things inside of it. And then I bring a little generator, so I always have power, cleaning rags, cleaning spray to wipe off my visor or my shield or the camera or whatever else. And then I'm bringing one of my electric bikes, because at Chuckwalla Valley Raceway, the cabin is right outside the track. You could park your car there, leave everything there at the cabin. And I could just jump on my e-bike, which has power. I could go 25 miles per hour, and I could ride it onto the track area. I could ride around the track at night if I want to. People go there and camp out and barbecue, and it's a whole lot of fun. So I'm definitely bringing my e-bike with me to do all that stuff, to ride around on the track. All right, so I'm gonna start packing everything up into the truck. I'm gonna go rent a U-Haul trailer. I always get a 5x9 U-Haul trailer with a ramp, and that's how I take my bike to the track. And then I'm borrowing a front tire chock, so my front tire could go inside the stand, and then I'll strap the bike down. And then after that, start the 4-hour drive up to Chuckwalla. So depending on what track organization you go to, you may have to do minimal things to get your bike prepared for the track, or you may have to do a whole lot. So the track that I'm going to, a couple things you gotta do. So the first thing you need to do is tape up your headlights. Just get some blue masking tape and tape up your whole light. That's because if you crash, they don't want glass or broken plastic, like of all this stuff all over the track. So you tape all that stuff up. Next, you wanna tape up or take off your mirrors completely. Most people just take off your mirrors completely because you don't look behind you on the track. Your only focus is what's in front of you. Next thing you need to do is tape up your wheel weights if you have them, because you don't want these things flying off and have them on the track. So just get a piece of black duct tape or Gorilla Tape, right? And just tape them up. You also want to take off your license plate and tape up your tail light, blinkers, all that stuff. And if your bike has the ability to do so, you could remove the fuse that turns on the horn, the lights, the blinker, the tail lights, the headlights, all that stuff, so it's not even on. Next thing you need to do is, if you have street tires, make sure they're not all the way down to the wear bar, so it still has some tread on there. Then also make sure your chain is tightened and not too loose, not too tight, and cleaned and lubed up. So you can have normal street tires just like I do, or if you have full slicks, then you could put those on at the track day as well, but then you'll need tire warmers and a generator and stands to get your bike off the ground to do tire warmers. I don't have any of that crap. I just use street tires on the track. All right, so let's get my bike all prepared. All right, and the bike is ready to be packed up. I got my new cooler. There's the front tire chalk I borrowed from my buddy. So I taped up the headlights. Looks pretty cool. I was gonna take off the mirrors, but there's a cable for the blinkers, and it's like I try to take it apart, but I didn't feel like doing the whole thing, so I just taped up the blinker part, just put tape around it and got a razor blade and cut around it. And that's all good. And then I just put blue tape on the inside, but I'll just fold them up like this, so they're just out of the way, or just leave them open, don't really matter. Not looking behind me anyway. And then taped up the wheel weights, and then taped up the tail light, took off the license plate, so all ready to go. Time to pack everything up. Everyone, just did a quick stop before I head out, so everything is packed up, locked up. I got some cable locks for the tool chest and generator and tent and water or fuel jugs. Got the U-Haul trailer, got the bike all strapped up. Just got a couple soft straps, got it all strapped up. Got the front tire chalk strapped up so it doesn't go side to side. I'm bringing both my e-bikes to ride around as well, and those are just strapped up to the side, so. All right, I have arrived. Let's go check out the cabin. All right, let's go check out my cabin. So these things are pretty awesome, and you could get it fully furnished with linen and everything, or just kind of have it bare bones. But this turns into a bed, has some pictures, got a fan, you got the AC going, you have a TV, Wi-Fi, little table, little kitchenette area, and then you have some storage up there. You have the sink, you got towels, you got the bathroom, full shower, big shower, tall ceilings, right? It's like, man, if I was just single, I could just live here. This is all the space I would need. This in a 2-car garage, and that'd be good. And then there's the AC for this, and there's another AC for the 1 bedroom they have. And it looks like a queen size bed, so yeah, it's super nice and comfortable. It's right next to the track. So I could just take some of my stuff out, my hygiene gear, some food, put it in the fridge and whatnot. Everybody out here on my e-bike, and there ain't no one out here, so we're gonna go take a lap on the e-bikes and see how the track is, but it's gonna be fun. Everybody got the tech inspection done. Now we're just waiting for the riders meet at 8 o'clock. Yeah, this is pretty much everybody. There's some people still trickling in, but most people are here. Here are the bathrooms over here. Got everything all set up. everyone, all packed up, getting ready to head back home. Amazing day. Once I get back home and unload everything, then tomorrow I will let you know how it went. Perfect day, not too much wind, high about 85 degrees. Absolutely awesome. All right, everyone, just back from the track, about 9:15 p.m. And just like magic, everything is put away, charging, cleaned, everything is put back away just the way it was. So call it OCD or military training, but I don't get to take a break until all the crap I have to do is done. So everything is done. Time to shower and then finally relax. Awesome track day. Tomorrow I'm gonna return the U-Haul trailer and I'm getting the oil changed on this bad boy on Thursday. But let's do the final thoughts. All right, everyone, final thoughts about the track day. So I don't think we could have planned a better track day. When it comes down to the weather, not being too hot, the rest of the week at Chuckwalla is gonna be like 100 degrees. So we lucked out and got it only about 85 degrees at the highest. And when we got there on Sunday night, it was really, really windy. We're like, oh man, it's gonna be windy tomorrow for the track day. You know, the tents are gonna be blowing around. And it was a little bit windy Monday morning, but then the wind just like stopped. It was just barely a little bit of breeze. Absolutely perfect track day. We all got the parking spots we wanted right next to the bathrooms, so we don't have to walk forever to go to the bathroom. We're all linked up together with our tents. Everybody was in A group together, so we did a whole bunch of lead follow and recording. It was just absolutely amazing. Probably the most fun thing for me was, besides riding on the track was a lot of fun, but the 40 minutes when we're not on the track, we're all just sitting underneath the tents and just hanging out and laughing and goofing off and just talking crap to each other. And it was just so much fun being with all of us in the same group, just hanging out. So a couple things about the bike. So the bike is absolutely amazing. It's almost so good that people complain about it's too good and too easy to ride. For a 1000cc sport bike, it's amazing. The tires did really well, Q5 front and rear, and directly from Dunlop's website, I'll pop it up on the screen right now, they recommend a range for the tire pressure. So when I did 32 cold on the front and I do 28 cold on the rear, that's directly from Dunlop, and it worked out really, really well. Tires did absolutely fine. There's still grip left, and yeah, tires are great. I'm not sure how long they're gonna last, but they are grippy, that's for sure. So after having Mike and Jay and a couple buddies follow me around and give me feedback, here was the summary of the feedback from them. A bunch of times, so at Chuckwalla, on a 1000cc bike, you kind of double apex a lot of the turns. So a lot of the times I wasn't hitting the second apex. Another feedback they were giving me is when I go into the turn, I was kind of holding it a little bit too tight, making my radius too tight. So once I go into it for the first apex, I kind of let the bike drift out a little bit and then get a slow turn pointed and then really have that longer straightaway. Because of the power of the thousands, you want to maximize the straightaways and really get on the throttle aggressively. So I need to do a little bit more V-shaped line for the double apexes. That was a common tip that I was given as well. And then just watching myself in the footage, this is awesome about having someone record you. What you think you feel like and what you think you're doing are usually two different things when someone follows right behind you and that could record you. So watching myself in the videos, these are all the things I think I need to work on. So my lines, I could be way more efficient and effective. Driving out of the corners, my vision, I'm always looking down at the apex as I'm rolling past it instead of looking really, really far up ahead. I need to let the bike drift out a little bit more. I need to make my transitions a little bit smoother. When I get on the brakes, sometimes I go a little bit too much and then I kind of have to let off too early. So I need to go to it very, very, very light. And a lot of times I was over braking. I was like, oh, I didn't need to brake that much. And then the next lap, I would remember that, and then I would kind of do it okay. I wouldn't brake so much and kind of lighter brake pressure and trail brake a little bit deeper. But then the next lap, I'd be going fast on the straightaway again. I'm like, oh, I'm going 125. I need to slow down hard. But I forget the slowest point of the turn is not like until way deep into the turn. So kind of over braking initially. The timing of which I move my body, sometimes a little bit rigid or a little bit too fast, or I'm too slow, too high up brake. So looking at myself, there's like 15 things that I need to be working on. So I never claimed I was the fastest track day rider, and but I'm not the slowest either. So in A group, I'm not the top third, I'm not the bottom third. So I would say I'm like mid-pack in A group. And for me, that's really good. It was a success because this is the first track day, this is the first track day I've done in a year. So after not riding on at the track in a year, going to the track in A group and kind of riding mid-pack, to me, that's good. So all the times riding on the street at Palomar Mountain and Highway 94 and all that stuff pays off because it's just more practice and you just get more comfortable with the bike and braking and leaning, and yeah, it's all good. So in September this year, 16th and 17th, I believe, I'm signed up and I'm going to California Superbike School at Willow Springs. The track is the streets of Willow Springs. So if you want to go to a Superbike school, they give you the bike. It's the exact same bike right here. They give you the bike to ride, and I'll meet you there, September 16 and 17. So that'll be the next track day that I go to, is when I go to that school. Besides SoCal Supermoto I'm going to next month, but that's like more like a school. I guess it is a track day. You are on the track, but I'm just going to the school just to go for fun. I'm meeting a bunch of people there, but the next big track I go to will be at the school, California Superbike School, at the end of the year. But all the electronical settings that I had, all the dash, the rebound, everything that I got feedback from with BT Moto and Dylan Code at Superbike School, it all worked out perfectly fine. Didn't need to adjust anything all day long. No tire warmers, no generator, nothing. Yeah, just after a couple turns, like and plus it was 85 degrees, so I always park my bike kind of sideways so it's facing the sun, so it's like a natural tire warmer. The sun just beats down on the tires and stays warm. But after like 3 turns, I'm already right back to 100%. So the tires don't cool down just 40 minutes taking a break while it's just sitting there in the sun. They cool down a little bit because you're not riding, but it's not as bad. And a bunch of my buddies had slicks and everything, but I don't have slicks. I don't have tire warmers. I have a generator, but I don't use it for that. And I don't have 2 stands to get the bike off. I just don't want to deal with that. I guess I'm just lazy in that way. It's just too much of a hassle. And it's not enough bang for the buck for me to deal with all that crap. Plus, I ride this thing on the street, so I like to have the feedback and the experience and the feel and get used to street tires because I ride it on the street. If I had an only dedicated track bike, then maybe I would get slicks and tire warmers, but I don't. So street tires is good enough. So one more thing I forgot to mention. So on my mirrors, since I kept them on the mirror of what I was looking at, it was all taped up, but on one side I wrote the words inhale, and on the other side I wrote the word exhale. So it just reminded me during the track to take deep breaths. And then within one lap, I was taking like 8 to 10 deep breaths because I would be reminding myself constantly. So like on the straightaways, have a little bit of break, like take a deep breath. And then it really helped as I exhaled is at the same time I tip and go into the corner. So it kept me more relaxed, it kept me focused, it kept me present. I kept my body from like getting too adrenaline spiked and, lactic acid, like you're running around or anything, just kept me chill. It was absolutely amazing because sometimes you forget to breathe, especially if you're going 100 plus miles per hour everywhere. So actively, consciously breathing while riding around on the track was awesome. So I've been thinking about this the last couple months and just reflecting on the last year because, like I said, this track day was the first time I've been to the track in a year. So first, for me, I ride minimum 4 days a week. If I leave my house here in Pacific Beach and I go all the way to Campo, Highway 94, it's like, 100 miles just in one day. So I go all the way down to the end and I come all the way back. Let's say that's 100 miles. And then I do that twice a week. And then I go all the way up to Palomar Mountain and do a whole bunch of laps and I come all the way back down. Let's say that's 100 miles. So minimum 4 days a week, and it's 100 miles every time I go on one of these rides or more. So let's just say minimum 400 or 500 miles a week of just twisty mountain roads riding quickly. So most people have jobs and things to do during the week, whatever else. I'm retired, so I could ride all day, every day. So I put in a lot of miles and a lot of twisty mountain roads. So I get about 80-90% of the fun just riding around on the street than I do going to the track. So the biggest thing for me that was the most fun on the track is just being with all my buddies in one spot riding around. But if we all got together on a Wednesday and all went to Palomar, I would have just as much fun. Because the thing about Chuckwalla Valley Raceway specifically, they're big, huge, fast sweeping turns. So you have to be going really, really, really fast to make the bike lean a lot, and leaning is the fun part. But for example, at Palomar Mountain, you're going more than half the speed, but you could get the same lean angles because the corners are way tighter. You see what I'm saying? So maybe if you have a normal job and you're working 5 days a week and you only get to ride once a week, track days would be like a really big deal, like super exciting for you. But since I ride 4 or 5 days a week out in the twisty mountain roads, going to the track is just, I'm not gonna say it's annoying or it's fun to go. There's no cliffs to fly off of. There's nothing on the ground. The ground is super grippy. There's no cops. All that stuff is great. But I could have, like I said, like about 80% of the fun just with a tank of gas on a day in the mountains. Of course, it's more risky and everything else. That's why I said 80% and not 100%. You're not going balls to the wall. I never had the dynamic traction control kick in on the street, of course, because I'm not riding that aggressively on the street. But I could have the same amount of fun in terms of lean angle and just doing turns on the street than I can do on the track. But like I said, if you're a dentist or a nurse and you only get to ride once a week, going to the track is like a big deal and it's a tremendous amount of fun. But since I ride so much, it's like, that's probably why I haven't been to the track in a year, because I just ride so much anyway. It's like, yeah, it's fun, but packing everything up, getting the U-Haul, driving 4 hours to get there, getting a hotel or a cabin, then driving back at night and 4 hours and unpack. It's just a lot where I could just fill up the tank of gas and just go to the mountains and ride 200 miles of twisties and come back the same day. Everybody's different, right? So that's just something I was thinking about while I was driving back and just thinking about the whole track day experience and what I wanted to say in the video. So if you're in Southern California, we're pretty damn spoiled because we have the weather to ride year round. We have all these tracks that are close by. We have all these courses that are close by. And we have so many twisty mountain roads that when you go to the track, it's just like another place to practice what you're doing. On the street, you're practicing as well. Every time you get on the bike, you could practice. You could practice everything. Doesn't mean you have to be going full throttle everywhere, but you could practice everything. And just keep on trying to improve. And even at the end of the day, what I was feeling comfortable doing, my next session, the goal wasn't to go faster for me. A lot of people only want to go faster and they just look at the times and they're just obsessed with that. I really don't care. Whatever I feel like I'm doing, I'm going pretty quickly. My next session, my goal is to do the same speed, but now more relaxed, more efficient, less wasted movements, better lines, perfect apexes. So whatever speed I was going, I just want to make that very, very easy and comfortable to where I could do that effortlessly. Because then if someone who's not going as quickly or is in a B group or C group, I could help and mentor them get to the point to where I am. You see what I'm saying? So that's really my goal, to be effective, efficient, and relaxed while going at a pretty quick pace. So that's my main goal. But I know a couple people that were at the track and I was walking around talking to people. They're just lap timer and looking at their thing like, dude, I got a 202. I got to get a 201. I have to next lap. If I don't, they're just stressed out about that stuff and their whole bodies, and they look like they ran a marathon and it's only the third session. I'm like, man, you're really okay, you're not a racer, you're not doing this professionally, you're not getting paid to do this, but he's just so obsessed with just trying to go faster that he's just messing up his lines and just, what are you gonna do? So that's not my goal at all. My goal is to be more relaxed and more effective and more efficient and have more fun. The fun factor is the main thing I'm trying to do. Anyway, if you're going to your first track day, I don't care what kind of bike you have. I've seen people there yesterday. They had, I seen one cruiser. I thought I saw them on the track. I don't know. So I saw one cruiser. There was adventure bikes there. There was supermoto bikes there, a DRZ 400 supermoto, a 701 supermoto like I used to have. A whole bunch of different sport bike guys, naked sport bikes, all different types of things. So you could go to the track with whatever bike you want. Just again, if it's your first track day, go into C group. And if you're doing really, really well, let the track organization people bump you up to B group, or ask one of the coaches, ask one of the people, the control riders or whoever else, or the organization people, like, hey, I'm in C group, but I'm pretty much passing everybody. That's a good indication for yourself that you're ready to go to the next group higher, but let the track organization people do that so they're not going to be confused and everybody know what's going on. But if you're passing everybody in C group or whatever else, like, hey, I probably need to be in the next group, and just keep on doing the same process. But you could go to the track. It's a lot of fun. I highly recommend doing it at least once a year, like I'm doing. So last year I went once a year, but I also went to a bunch of courses, which are like mini tracks. But big tracks on the big bike, minimum once a year, you'll have a tremendous amount of fun. So hopefully this video helped you out. Maybe think about things that you didn't think about before, what to bring or what to expect. And hopefully enjoyed the video of me riding around with my buddies following me. Bike's all ready to go. And I just got this new cool mount. A chin mount has a new big old adhesive pad on the gas tank. I'll show you real quick in a clip. Ready to go. I'm going back to Palomar tomorrow and then oil change on Thursday. And then I'll show a bunch of clips, that videos that we saved from the track with Cali Photography. You can look them up on social media. At the track, you could save a whole bunch of videos that he takes and pictures and stuff like that. So I'll play a couple of those clips after I show you the clip of the adhesive GoPro, whatever the hell thing, the chin mounts. And check this out, everyone. I just got 3 of these brand new flexible adhesive mounts. You kind of put on your bike for the Insta360, your camera or whatever. I just put one right here. I got the little extender so I could see. That's gonna be pretty cool of a view. So let's see what it looks like through the camera. So you'll be able to see through the windshield, and you'll be able to see the gauge cluster and all that stuff. So I think it'd be pretty good. I'll just get a little piece of thing and attach it to here, just back out the screw a little bit for a safety wire, but that's super solid on there. You could probably put one on the back tail or something as well, since it's flexible. I just saw it on an email and I was like, oh, that's a good idea. So I bought them. Good stuff. There you go. Hope you liked the video. Hit subscribe. Almost at 500,000 subscribers.